In the world of Hollywood, where dreams are woven into stories that touch the hearts of millions, one name that continues to shine with undeniable charm and talent is Blake Lively. And now she takes another leap forward with her upcoming role as both star and producer of the Lionsgate action rom-com The Survival List, which is based on the original spec by Tom Malia. And this news has set fans buzzing with excitement because it marks not only her return to the big screen, but also her expansion into shaping the story behind the scenes, proving once again that celebrities are not just faces on posters, but creative forces with visions to share. And what makes Blake's journey so inspiring is the way she blends elegance with ambition, because from her early days on Gossip Girl, where she captured the world's attention as Serena van der Woodsen, to stepping into films like The Shallows and A Simple Favor, she has shown that she can tackle both drama and comedy, suspense and action, and now by producing, she adds yet another dimension to her already impressive career, reminding fans of the many layers a celebrity journey can hold. And this is what makes following the lives of stars so fascinating, because we see them rise, stumble, shine, and transform before our very eyes. And in the case of Blake, she has also become a fashion icon, turning every red carpet into a statement of individuality, grace, and confidence. Whether it's bold gowns or tailored suits, her looks often go viral, not just because of the clothes themselves, but because she embodies them with authenticity and joy. And fans love to emulate that style, not as an unattainable dream, but as a spark of inspiration for their own everyday choices and beyond. Fashion Blake has made waves with her charity work, lending her voice and influence to causes that matter, from children's health to women's empowerment, reminding us that celebrities have the power to spotlight issues and bring communities together for good. And this is one of the themes that makes diving into the world of celebrities so uplifting, because we are reminded that behind the glamour lies a dedication to create real positive change, and that energy extends to their fans, too, as we see through countless interactions where Blake and others take the time to meet, greet, and connect with the people who support them, making those special moments unforgettable snapshots of kindness and gratitude. And when you trace this journey, it becomes clear that celebrity culture is not just about fame, but about the resilience to keep creating, the courage to face challenges, and the joy of sharing art and expression with the world. And so as Blake embarks on this exciting project, The Survival List, she joins a long line of stars who constantly reinvent themselves, surprising audiences with new projects while staying true to the essence of who they are. And that is the heartbeat of this story, and every story we explore together in the vast and endlessly fascinating world of celebrities. And when you think about what makes a project like The Survival List so exciting, it is the blend of genres, because action rom-coms bring together the thrill of fast-paced sequences with the heartwarming charm of love stories. And Blake Lively has shown time and again that she can balance emotion and wit with strength and charisma. So fans are eager to see how she will craft this experience, not only through her performance, but also through her role as producer, where she can shape the story arc, the character development, and the tone of the entire film. And this highlights a bigger trend in Hollywood, where many celebrities are stepping into dual roles as both performers and producers, directors, and entrepreneurs, because the world wants stories that are authentic, diverse, and fresh, and who better to guide them than the people who live and breathe the art every day. And while Blake makes headlines for this new project, she joins a wave of other stars who are redefining their careers in remarkable ways, like Reese Witherspoon, who not only acts but has become a powerhouse producer with her company Hello Sunshine, championing stories about women, or like Ryan Reynolds, Blake's husband, who blends humor, action, and business savvy with ventures like Aviation Gin and Mint Mobile, proving that celebrities today are no longer just entertainers, but multifaceted creators, entrepreneurs, and philanthropists. And when you watch their journeys unfold, it feels almost like watching a story within a story, because you see the characters they play on screen, but also the lives they build off screen. And that duality makes following their paths so fascinating. And in the case of Blake Lively, she has always had a knack for balance, because while she builds her career, she is also celebrated for being a devoted mother and partner. And fans admire how she shares glimpses of her life in a way that feels relatable and joyful, without losing the mystery and magic of stardom. And this balance resonates because it shows that success is not just about being everywhere all the time, but about choosing what matters most and giving it your heart. And that is perhaps why people root for her so deeply, because she represents both the dazzling dream of Hollywood and the grounded warmth of authenticity. And as the survival list begins its journey from script to screen, audiences worldwide will watch not only for the story of the film, but for the story of Blake herself continuing to evolve, adapt, and shine. And that ripple effect inspires countless fans and fellow creators to chase their own survival lists, their own dreams and goals, reminding us that celebrity culture, when embraced positively, can be a mirror of perseverance, creativity, and hope. And speaking of perseverance, creativity, and hope, we can look at how other celebrities mirror this same energy, because Blake Lively, stepping into a bold new project. Like the survival list echoes the kind of risk-taking and career-shaping choices that have defined so many stars' journeys. For instance, when Jennifer Lopez first took on acting roles while balancing her music career, many doubted whether she could truly juggle both. Yet she went on to star in films that became classics while simultaneously topping the charts. And years later, she still commands sold-out arenas and is celebrated as a fashion icon, proving that expanding beyond what people expect of you is often the very key to lasting success. And then there is Lady Gaga, who stunned the world by moving from avant-garde pop into a serious acting role in A Star Is Born. And not only did she capture hearts with her performance, but she also reminded everyone that true artistry cannot be boxed in. And when fans see stars cross boundaries like this, it fuels the belief that reinvention is possible at any stage of life. And Blake's foray into producing mirrors this spirit, because it is not just about making a film. It is about shaping narratives for the future and telling stories that resonate deeply and authentically with audiences. And if we widen the lens even more, we see this pattern across the globe with stars like Priyanka Chopra Jonas, who started in Bollywood and became a household name in Hollywood, proving that borders do not define talent. And with every step, these artists show us that fame is not the end goal, but rather a tool, a platform that can be used to inspire, empower, and connect. And so when we look back at Blake Lively taking the stage both as an actress and as a producer for Lionsgate, we see her carving out her space in this ongoing tradition of stars, writing their own destinies and guiding their careers toward meaning and influence. And as audiences, we feel like we are right there beside them, sharing in their challenges and celebrating their victories, like friends cheering them on from the sidelines, because in many ways that is what the celebrity world has become, not just a show for us to watch, but a conversation between stars and fans. A relationship built on admiration, inspiration, and the belief that if they can rise above obstacles, so can we. And one of the most fascinating layers of celebrity journeys is the way fashion becomes part of their storytelling. Because when Blake Lively steps out on a red carpet or attends an event, her style choices are never random. They often feel like extensions of her personality, confident, creative, and timeless, and it mirrors how other icons use fashion as their own language. Think of Rihanna, whose Fenty empire revolutionized beauty by celebrating inclusivity and reshaping industry standards. Or Zendaya, who has become known not only for her acting roles, but for her daring collaborations with designers, making each appearance feel like a cultural moment. And then there is Harry Styles, who blurs the lines of traditional fashion norms, creating conversations about individuality and self-expression. And when we connect this back to Blake, her ability to command attention without even having a stylist of her own stands out as a story in itself, because it shows independence, a sense of self and trust in her own instincts, which fans find both admirable and relatable. And while fashion dazzles on the surface, the deeper layers of celebrity culture often reveal a heart for charity and impact, because many stars use their platforms to spark change, like Taylor Swift, whose donations to food banks during her tours often go unnoticed in the headlines but mean everything to the communities receiving them, or like Angelina Jolie, who has spent decades advocating for refugees while balancing her career and motherhood. And Blake herself has joined this tradition, supporting causes that empower women and children, while quietly contributing to organizations that create real change. And this is where the magic of celebrity truly shines, because it goes beyond glamour and fame to touch lives directly. And when you zoom out and see all these stories together, from Blake Lively's producing role in The Survival List to her fashion influence and her philanthropic efforts, it paints a bigger picture of what it means to be a modern celebrity, someone who can entertain, inspire, and uplift all at once. And audiences crave this kind of narrative because it shows that behind the lights and cameras, there are real people making choices that ripple out into the world, and the resilience they show in facing criticism, setbacks, or even legal disputes only adds to the inspiration, because it proves that challenges do not define them. Rather, it is their response to those challenges that shapes their legacy. And comeback stories are some of the most powerful threads in celebrity culture, because they remind us that even the brightest stars face storms, yet they find ways to rise again. And Blake Lively herself has shown resilience, not only by balancing family life with Hollywood expectations, but also by continuously choosing projects that expand her artistry and reputation. And when we look at the wider world of celebrities, these arcs of setback and renewal are everywhere. Like Britney Spears, who after years of public struggle has found strength in reclaiming her narrative and continues to inspire fans with her courage, or Robert Downey Jr., whose career was once written off, yet through his comeback as Iron Man, he redefined blockbuster cinema and cemented his place as one of the greatest comeback stories of all time. And these moments resonate so deeply because they prove that failure or controversy does not mean the end. It can instead become a turning point, a rebirth. And Blake stepping into the survival list feels like one of those exciting career pivots, where she is not just continuing her acting career, but reshaping it by producing, creating, and taking charge of her own stories. And this pattern can be seen globally as well, like with K-pop stars, who often face immense pressure and yet return stronger with albums that break records and connect cultures. Or with Latin icons like Shakira, who after personal challenges still commands global stages with music that radiates joy and power. And these examples show us that the celebrity world is not a static place. It is a living, breathing journey of reinvention, resilience, and artistry. And as fans, we are drawn in not only by the glamour, but by the humanity, by the feeling that these stars are writing their chapters in real time, just as we are writing ours. And in that connection lies the reason why documentaries and stories about celebrities feel so personal, because they echo our own struggles, our own victories, and our own hopes wrapped up in the larger-than-life narratives of the people we admire. And when we think about colleagues and collaborators in Hollywood, it becomes clear that no celebrity exists in a vacuum, because their journeys are often shaped by the people they work with and the communities they build around them. And for Blake Lively, the survival list represents not only her own leap into producing, but also a chance to elevate new voices and creative partners, much like how stars before her have used their platforms to open doors for others. Think about how Oprah Winfrey has consistently championed new storytellers and entrepreneurs, using her influence not only for her own success, but to build a legacy of opportunity, or how Leonardo DiCaprio has not only collaborated with some of the greatest directors of all time, but also poured energy into environmental advocacy, leveraging every project as a platform to amplify his message. And even in the music industry, we see this spirit with artists like Drake, who constantly collaborates with rising talent, giving them visibility and space to shine. And this cycle of collaboration builds a web of stories that make celebrity culture feel like a shared journey rather than a solo performance. And Blake herself has often spoken about the importance of mentorship, friendship, and community, which reflects a truth that behind the glamorous premieres and award shows, there are real bonds being formed, and those bonds often result in some of the most iconic work we see on screen or on stage. And when we as fans witness these dynamics, it gives us a sense of belonging too, like we are invited into a bigger story. And that is why celebrity culture continues to resonate so deeply across generations, because it is not just about the spectacle, it is about the connections, the collaborations, and the humanity at its core.